Alright, so I decided to try and tweak my pan a little bit today, and lo and behold, I was quite surprised at some of the settings that I thought weren't working were actually kind of working way better than I had actually anticipated. So here's a little run-up of the radio and how it's how it sounds whenever you first fire it up. So anyway, here's this part.
Welcome to OpenTX. GPS attitude hold engaged. Course lock heading lock off. Tarot T810 selected. Safety switch engaged. Camera shutter enabled. Mode 2 selected.
Okay, so that's basically the run-up of the radio. Now, in previous videos, I kind of went over what the switches do and how the radio is kind of programmed. So, the SB switch here controls the different modes of the gimbal. Right now it's in mode 2.
Mode 1 selected.
This is mode 1. This is mode 3.
Mode 2 selected.
And that's mode 2 again. So, in doing so, you can probably hear the servos chittering a little bit in the background. But anyway, the gimbal. Now, don't mind my test stand here. I'm an IT guy, so I've got computers everywhere, and they make some pretty good stands. So, especially if you're trying to test a 3-axis gimbal on a very, very large frame multi-rotor. So, anyway, right now it's in mode 2. I'm going to switch this to mode 3. Mode 1. Now, one thing I don't understand is every time I power it up, it never returns to 0 like it should. Right now it's kind of twisted off to the left a little bit. So this is my gimbal pan control. Now, one thing you'll note with these type of gimbals, if it's sitting on the ground, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but if it's sitting on the ground and it's not suspended like this, it's going to act kind of crazy. It's going to want to spin and do some really weird stuff. So by suspending it like this, it allows full 360 degree movement, and it's wanting to drift a little bit. So, and you can fine tune the settings that way. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't bring my connection cable for the gimbal controller, which is this little dude right back there flashing blue. But I didn't bring that with me today, so I don't get to tweak any of the settings. But luckily, they're pretty good right now. So, I'll give you a little...
Safety switch engaged.
Oops, hit that one by mistake. I'll give you a little sample now. This is just a slow pan to the right. You can slow it down even more, or you can go as fast as you want. So now there's still some gains that I need to lower down that I noticed, especially in mode mode 3, which mode 3, well, let's do this here. Mode 2 allows you to enable the pan, or mode 1, I'm sorry, allows you to enable the pan, but your tilt and roll controls are not auto-zeroed once you let off or return to 0 on your controller. So right now, I can tilt it up and leave the stick alone, return it to 0, and it holds position. Now, mode 3, which is this one, and you'll notice.
Mode 3 selected.
See that? That's kind of crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this back around. And we're going to flip it back to mode 1 again. See, that's kind of crazy.
Mode 3 selected.
I'm not exactly sure why it does that. But regardless, this is basically the functionality test of the pan. So now mode 3 allows, if I hold it down and return it to 0, I have to hold the stick down in one position. As soon as I let off of it or return it to 0, it automatically zeroes itself. Same thing with your tilt. But your pan does not. You can hold position that way, but if you return it to 0 on your stick, it holds position, which is not true for your tilt and roll controls. So I'll switch this back to mode
2 selected.
2. Again, mode 2 disables pan, and that's the key features between 1, 2, and 3 of the different settings for modes 1, 2, and 3, I should say. So mode 1
selected.
For some reason wants to head off in that direction, which is kind of peculiar. I wonder if it has to do with the 0 of that. I'm not for sure. I'll have to explore that a little bit more. So
mode 2 selected. Mode 1 selected.
Yeah. See, it's less this time. That's odd. I'm not really sure why. So anyway, that is
Mode 2 selected.
just a little bit of that. Enjoy.